Welcome to Comic Confidential, a pop culture podcast. Today we are talking all things Space Jam. We're also going to cover a couple of the big news stories and talk some TV action. I'm your host, Cade, and alongside me today in the studio, of course, that's Troy Spinner.
Hey.
Welcome.
What up?
Oh, still awkward.
How's that awkward? That's just how you talk to people.
I don't think so. No one talks like that anymore.
Mate.
That's like 2 steps away from like the was
Whatever. It wasn't that bad.
Mind you, they did drop that joke in the new Ant-Man movie.
Did they? Oh, yeah, they did. That's weird.
Didn't hit it.
Bringing like the early 2000s back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird.
Very weird. Wasn't that like a Domino's or a Doritos?
It was a Budweiser thing.
Oh, was it a Budweiser?
Yeah.
Ah.
So, yeah, they tried and failed. Have you
Indeed.
gone back and watched it now that it's released on video on demand, etc., 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 etc.?
No, I haven't. I'll maybe jump on it when it hits Netflix.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't really go back to these movies too often, hey?
Don't you?
No, it's usually only the big ones.
Yeah, right.
Like the big team-ups. I don't really go back to these individual ones.
Okay. All right.
One and done, mate.
Big fan, eh?
Yeah. I just remember everything perfectly, so I just replay it in my head.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, look, yeah, we are going to talk about Space Jam
Oh, yeah.
later. That's coming up. That was kind of like a, what do you call that?
A trip down the Soldier Lane?
It was a trip down, I don't know, like 96 was a long goddamn time ago. And it kind of, we'll talk about it later, but it hurts a bit.
Really? Oh, I'm interested.
No, we'll get to that, but yeah, we are going to talk a little bit of TV stuff as well, because a lot of the TV shows are back.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't necessarily seen all of them yet, but we are going to either talk about the ones that we have or speculate and stuff like that. There are a couple of little news stories that I do want to talk about with you, though.
Okay.
And it does revolve around the TV show Supergirl.
Ooh.
Have you seen it?
I've heard of it.
Yeah. Do you watch it still?
I haven't got back onto it this season, but only one episode's out.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you did finish the last season.
Yes.
Okay. Well, apparently, they are trying to, or they are going to officially bring in Lex Luthor as a recurring character.
Right.
What do you feel about that?
Yeah. Interesting, because Lex Luthor isn't really a villain to Supergirl.
You're correct. But
So-
they're bringing him. They're still bringing him in as a recurring character. Is the words that are written before my eyes.
Right. Do you know if they've cast anyone for this yet?
They have not.
Because they would be a handful of episodes into this already.
Yeah.
So he has to be in the back half of the season, because they're already starting to record the big 4 TV show crossover.
Yeah. So this is season 4, right?
5.
No, this has to be 4.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because season 4 is the season that they're bringing in Lex Luthor, so that has to be the
It
season.
has to be.
Yeah, so interesting. There is a fan petition going around, as there always is.
For the bum?
For the bum.
Yeah.
For Michael Rosenbaum to be cast as Lex Luthor. What do you think? Just bear in mind, Lex Luthor is kind of an ageless character.
Yeah.
Right? So it doesn't matter that Michael Rosenbaum's 45.
Yeah.
Doesn't look 45.
No, he doesn't.
It
looks very young.
looks pretty good for his
Yeah.
age. So what do you think? Would you have it?
I want it, but I wouldn't.
Really?
Yeah, because it's kind of like, it kind of wrecks that Smallville part of Lex Luthor then.
I suppose.
It completely destroys it.
Or does it tie it all in? Does
No.
it come full circle,
No,
baby?
because all these... There's already a Supergirl in the Smallville universe.
Yeah, true.
And there's already a Superman in the Smallville universe. There's already a Clark Kent. There's
Okay.
already all
All right.
these established characters.
Check this out.
Okay.
We know there's a multiverse,
Yeah.
right? So what if Smallville was just an alternate Earth's version of that whole story, yet Lex Luthor, being as smart as he is,
Can travel in between dimensions.
travels between verses and ends up in Supergirl's verse because he knows there's no current Lex Luthor there.
Oh, okay. You know what? I dig that.
Yeah.
Because who's to say, like, Lex Luthor looks the same in every universe? Like,
Exactly.
he can. Yeah.
Yeah. Or the Lex Luthor in... No, that doesn't work because they've already established that Lex Luthor is alive in Supergirl.
Yes.
But, well, I've just kind of I've written myself into a corner, just like every other CW writer at some point.
Now you've got 22 episodes to try and get yourself out of this situation.
Then we'll just like reboot at the start of the next season.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out later. Apparently as well. Oh, have you got something else?
Yeah, no, I have got something to say to this because there's been behind the scenes photos of the Flash being shot at the Smallville farm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
So is this connecting shit, Troy?
Maybe. But I do want to mention another story. Now, this is a bit of a rumor.
Okay.
That's floating about. But CW is in talks for reportedly bringing in a solo Superman TV series starring the Supergirl Superman, Tyler Hoechlin. What do you think?
Yeah, I saw this coming.
Yeah.
As soon as they brought him onto Supergirl, he was like too big of a TV actor to give him a part-time role.
Yeah.
It was kind of like written on the wall that we're going to give you a full-on TV show if it kind of impresses the masses.
Yeah, right. Would you want it?
Nah.
You don't want it?
Nah.
I don't think that, like, as much as I love Superman, right?
He's not a TV character.
Well, it's not even that. It's just, you know, like, let's explore some other characters. You know, keep him there. He was great. Absolutely great in Supergirl. Did a really good job as Clark Kent and Superman. But I reckon let's leave that sort of stuff behind a little bit and let's just focus on some other characters.
Okay.
Also, I don't want it in the CW.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
You know, if I could have it somewhere, it wouldn't be in the CW. I'd want it a little bit more sort of, you know, not teeny.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, as much as I hated what Smallville did by not showing me Superman, I feel like it was probably saving me from myself.
Maybe.
Because you know they can't do Superman justice on TV.
Hey.
What?
Lois and Clark.
Okay, I stand corrected.
Yeah,
Perfection.
Exactly. How dare you?
Give me Dean Cain back.
How dare you besmirch the good name of the Dean Cain? He was so good.
He was amazing.
All right, well, let's move on. Let's talk about some TV.
Okay.
There's a lot of TV back. There's a lot of TV
back. Let's kind of
rattle
list
some things
off the stuff that we've got in our list to watch. So Daredevil dropped as of this recording yesterday.
Yeah, whenever. The Friday before this recording.
Yeah.
Haven't watched any yet.
No.
Planning on binging it this entire weekend.
So we usually review those shows 2 to 3 weeks after they air. So, you know, listeners, you got a little bit of time.
Don't rush. We'll get to it eventually. Looking forward to it. All reports so far is that it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So
typical Daredevil style.
So I am keen. None of this Iron Fist getting cancelled sort of thing. So I don't think we'll see that happening anytime soon. Or maybe we will.
I reckon this will be the final season.
You think?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Just with what's happening with the whole mergers and stuff.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, it is a good chance for Netflix to kind of dump these Marvel characters and move on with their life since the Disney streaming service is going to be using them anyway. So
exactly.
Maybe. We'll see what happens. What else is back? Titans. Have you seen it yet?
Got it there, ready to rock and roll.
God, man. Come on.
Got it very legally.
Did you?
Nah.
I was going to say, because Netflix doesn't even have it yet, and it's supposed to.
I've got a press release version.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fair. Me too.
Yeah.
And I've
got a critic episode. That's what it is.
Yeah. I have watched it. It's good.
Yeah.
It's very violent.
Oh.
I had heard the early reports that, you know, there was like they went kind of dark with it, and like it's pretty violent, but it's like pretty violent.
Hell yeah.
It's like kind of gone to a point where I'm like, I think you guys might be pushing it a bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, the thing they can go as crazy as they want because they have no like regulations to meet because it's their own streaming service.
Yeah. So we already know, you know, we've got like the whole fuck Batman and like all that sort of stuff. And, you know, that's great. It's kind of weird when it happens. I will give it this. I'm interested.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see where it goes. But me, a very big fan of violence.
Yeah.
Kind of thinks, hey, probably a little too violent at times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very surprising.
Almost, and I guess the reason why I say that, it's almost cartoonish in the way that they do it sometimes.
Yeah, right.
And it doesn't really work.
Fair enough.
So, and I know that sounds stupid considering it's Titans and it's kind of like based on comics and cartoons and whatnot, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't work as well. But I don't mind it.
Fair enough.
Arrow is back.
Arrow is back, and Arrow is supposedly good again. So
Yeah.
we need to have like you know how there's those UV indexes or like fire
Yeah.
hazards, is like low, medium, high.
Yeah.
It's back into the good.
It's back into the medium at the moment.
You reckon
well,
medium?
I haven't seen it yet. So, yeah. I will be jumping back on board the Arrow train. For this season, mostly because they are doing the Longbow Hunters storyline.
Yes.
And it's all working towards Elseworlds.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll check that. Probably going to jump back on the Flash train. Not 100% sure. Legends, it doesn't matter because you know everything's just.
You can jump on Legends at any time.
Exactly.
And just have a good time.
It's a jumbled mess of excitement and fun.
And they know it.
Yeah, and so you know you could jump in at the start of this season, and you'd be fine. Pretty much. I don't think you'd have to worry about having to catch up.
Correct.
So definitely interested in checking out Arrow again. Have heard that it got back to, you know, getting towards the end of season 6, it started to find its feet again. I think the whole, you know, team versus team thing was a little bit...
very draining.
Yeah, bit draining. Why are we doing this?
Again.
Why do we care what, like, Wild Dog and T-Bone and Old Mate and...
Screaming
McScreamer.
Yeah. Who cares what they think?
Who cares what they think?
They're the new kids on the block and not in the good way.
Yeah. And you know, and then, you know, they started to try to shift like evil Laurel kind of good. And I'm like, I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going to try to do that, but then they kind of didn't. I don't know.
Who even knows?
Now there's 2 canaries and they're just screeching at each other the whole time. So, you know, it is what it is. Doctor Who is back.
Oh yeah,
I know you don't care.
Nah, not at all.
So we are 2 episodes in to the new season of Doctor Who. We have Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor.
What's your impressions? 2 episodes in. Is this the first lady Doctor?
The first lady Doctor.
Oh, yeah. How progressive.
How divisive. It has been. This is one of those things where people were very much like, "You've ruined my life."
Oh my God, I used to be the biggest Doctor Who fan. And now that it's a lady, I can no longer enjoy this TV show that doesn't affect my life in any way.
He's a doctor. Women can't be doctors. What's the female version of a doctor? A nurse? So, you know, it's that kind of ridiculousness. But there was also the other side that's like, no, fuck it. Like, let's give this a chance. Let's see what, you know, all that sort of stuff. And then there was, you know, the people in the middle that are just like, just let me watch goddamn Doctor Who.
Yes, all Doctor Who. Like, it's just Doctor Who, man.
Yeah. Oh, it's not just Doctor Who. Don't you dare.
Well, I'm sorry to all the Whovians out there.
So we are 2 episodes in. I will say this. I'm still watching.
Oh, okay. So you're like not super sold, but you're going to give it a go.
Yeah, look, it's very like it's very 2018. Like if I can put it in any other way,
it's very PC.
Yeah, it's PC, but it's not PC to the point that it like seriously seems to be like pushing some sort of agenda yet or anything like that.
So it's not Supergirl.
It's not Supergirl.
Okay.
It's definitely not Supergirl. But it's I don't know, I'm not sold on the story yet.
Okay.
I think the first episode was good. I think Jodie Whittaker was good, but I think Jodie Whittaker is good in everything I've seen Jodie Whittaker in anyway. So I don't know if that necessarily means that she's a good doctor or if she's just good as an actress anyway. But I enjoyed it.
Okay.
And second episode wasn't too bad, and we finally got to see the new TARDIS, which is pretty great. So I'm in.
Fantastic.
I'm in, but I'm just kind of... I'm lukewarm at the moment, but I've been kind of lukewarm. I was lukewarm in, you know, Peter Capaldi's first few episodes, and then I kind of grew on him as well.
You're just dipping the toes in at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So very keen to see how it pans out.
Very good.
I think that's it. No, Walking Dead.
We got The Walking Dead. That's back. I watched the first episode.
How'd you go?
Don't know if you're going to enjoy it. It was.
There's a very good chance I'm not going to enjoy it.
Look, considering that Rick Grimes is only going to be in 6 of the episodes out of however many.
And Margaret as well, I believe, is only in 6.
Yeah. So they both used up one of their episodes.
Ooh.
In the first go.
Damn.
Yeah, and
you'd expect to see them
exactly.
yeah.
But it was very focused on just those 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, see, maybe the episodes that they're in are going to be super heavy them to kind of really work their story out in half a season.
Yeah, I'm going to say first half of the season they'll be gone.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You don't think they'll kind of try to drag their appearances out?
Nah, not the way
they could do Rick's story, Maggie's story, Rick's story, Maggie's story, Rick's story, Maggie's story, and go through the whole season, and then they leave.
They could do that.
You know?
They could do that.
Yeah.
But the way they're planning this, it's kind of like I can see the baton being passed already.
Okay.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to the last 3 seasons of The Walking Dead, how boring is it?
It's the last 3 seasons. But it's the first episode. It's got a lady's like...
Does it?
It does. It does. And, if you watch The Walking Dead, you know what you're in for. You just got to get through it.
Yeah.
Because it'll lay the groundwork and then it'll get good.
Yeah, okay.
So...
and The Gifted is back.
And The Gifted is back. So...
Did you watch all of season 1?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, it was quite fun. It was different.
Haven't started... And, The Gifted is back. It's been back for a few weeks. I think they're 3 or 4 episodes in. Haven't had a chance to catch up yet. Am very keen to do so because I did enjoy what they did last season.
Indeed, it was quite good.
So let us know what you think, you guys. What are you excited for? Hey, let me know personally.
Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam. Alright.
Cade, how well do you remember the year 1996?
Like it was yesterday.
Like Troy. It was yesterday?
Yeah.
Well, I remember 1996 as an absolutely fantastic year for movies. So 1996 was the year Independence Day came out.
Oh, yeah, it did.
Yeah, it did. Twister also came out.
That sales went through the roof.
They did. That movie about that Twister that one time that happened.
Mm-hmm.
The first Mission Impossible was out in 1996.
Oh, wow.
Which is crazy.
That is
considering,
crazy.
just this year we got the 5th or 6th or whatever it was.
Mission Impossible 82.
And The Rock with Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage also came out this year.
Oh, wow.
But 1996, in 1996, there was only one movie about a basketball player teaming up with some animated characters and dunking on some space aliens. I'm talking about Space Jam, baby.
Oh, yeah.
The 18th most successful movie of 1996, which is actually pretty good considering, how
many movies get released in a year?
Yeah, and naming some of the other ones that I just named that were all above it, 1996 was a pretty big year for movies.
Yeah.
And Space Jam was out. And this is what we're talking about today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what is, for the people out there that don't know, what is Space Jam about?
Okay, before I tell people what it's about,
yeah,
a large amount of people that I've spoken to do not know what Space Jam was.
Really?
Really.
Is that because they're too young
or
too old?
No, I think it might be because they're too young.
Damn.
It's like they barely knew what the Looney Tunes were.
Oh my God. All right, well, here's what's happening, right? Okay, for all you young kids that don't know what Space Jam is, and maybe you don't even know who Michael Jordan is.
Oh.
And maybe you're not even sure what a Bugs Bunny does.
Yeah.
Right? But let me tell you, you guys are getting a Space Jam reboot, sequel, something, starring your era's Michael Jordan, LeBron James.
Oh, he's better, Troy.
Michael Jordan by far.
Oh.
Yeah. This is dead set gonna turn into a sports episode. But there is a Space Jam sequel or reboot or whatever they're talking about coming out. LeBron James is in it. They're still gonna do it with the Looney Tunes, I believe. Ryan Coogler's attached as a producer. So it should be quite good. And I will give LeBron James this. Probably a better actor than Michael Jordan.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. 100%. But anyway, what is Space Jam about?
So, in a desperate attempt to win a basketball match and earn their freedom, the Looney Tunes seek the aid of retired basketball champion Michael Jordan.
That's right. The great Michael Jordan.
Indeed.
One of the greatest to ever play the game of basketball.
What number, Troy?
And one of the people to have played baseball at some time.
That is, I feel like this was it came out around the time that he was doing this whole transition to baseball.
Yeah.
So I like how this movie kind of poked fun at that.
Yeah. It's kind of like, well, I think how it worked out is they actually, it was happening at the time. So they're like, hey, let's just write this into the story.
Yeah.
So let's just make it, this is kind of what happens. And it's like,
This is why he went back to basketball.
yeah, it's got nothing to do with like his, competitive drive or anything like that. It's because, hey, he learned to love the game again by teaming up
With the Looney Tunes.
With the Looney Tunes. Obviously starring Michael Jordan. Bill Murray's in it for a bit as Bill Murray. Wayne Knight as Stan Podolak. And Danny DeVito, which I did not remember at all, as the Monstars head boss thing, Swackhammer.
Yeah, I didn't even realize this until I read it in the show notes just before we started recording. And it makes sense. I was like, oh, damn.
You didn't pick Danny DeVito's voice?
No, not at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Also stars some other absolute top tier actors slash basketball players in Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Muggsy Bogues, Larry Johnson, Sean Bradley, and of course all your favorite Looney Tunes characters. And if you don't know who any of those basketball stars are, I pity you. You grew up in the wrong era of the sport.
Yeah, this is when the shorts were still short.
Well, they weren't that short.
They were like medium.
They were like 90s length.
Yeah.
They were baggy.
They were like baggy shorts.
Or maybe they were a bit short.
They were like
Everyone's just tall.
Mid-thigh.
Everyone, like Sean
They were
Bradley
normal
is like
shorts.
7'10" or
Actually,
something.
they had some giant guys in this one.
Yeah. Directed by Joe Pytka, who has done pretty much nothing other than music videos and some commercials featuring Michael Jordan.
That doesn't surprise me when you look at how some of these things are shot.
Well, don't forget it's 1996 as well.
True.
But yeah, with a runtime of 97 minutes, let's talk about some money, because this is kind of interesting.
Yeah, so, this is a time before comic book movies.
Yeah.
So, lower these expectations when you hear these dollars. So, it had an opening weekend of $27.5 million with a domestic total of $19 million, bringing it to a worldwide total of $230 million on an estimated $80 million budget.
$80 million.
Wow. I guess animation was done differently back in the day, so it must have taken a lot longer.
Oh, it was all hand drawn. Back in '96.
Do you think it was hand drawn still? No, it couldn't have been.
I don't know. You're the designer. You tell me.
I design pictures, not friggin' animated movies.
All right. Well, anyway, regardless of that, $80 million is a very large sum of money for a movie like this, and I think a lot of it went to basically building Michael Jordan his own basketball sort of court / stadium.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, because he was in the process of returning back to basketball. So basically, in between every single kind of break or like shot that they had, he would go out and practice. He'd shoot some hoops.
Oh, really?
If he didn't have to be on set, he'd be in his basketball gym, gymming it up, just shooting some hoops.
So instead of having like a trailer, he had an actual court built.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, fully air-conditioned, fully enclosed, full-length basketball court. He'd get local players to come down and play. He'd get high school kids or college kids or whatever.
Damn.
Yeah, and he'd just basically work on his craft while working on his acting craft.
Wow. Looks like he did one more than the other.
Yeah. Look, I don't have any critical things from Rotten Tomatoes or anything like we normally do.
Exist.
But it's 6.4 out of 10 from IMDb and 59 on Metacritic.
That's surprising. From Metacritic.
Yeah, it is.
That's
but
like 100.
It's a product of its time, though,
It really is.
Yeah. And I think that's the biggest thing with this movie, is that watching it now is still good. I still had a good time.
Yeah.
Right? But you can tell that this is a movie made in 1996.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, going back to this movie, like, it brought back a lot of memories of, like, how I really enjoyed this movie when it first came out. Almost got me into basketball until I realized I was the worst basketball player of all time.
Yeah, I've seen you.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at most sports, but basketball is just one of those that does not agree with me.
Well, it's because it's not a fat man sport.
Yeah,
So you're good at, like, cricket.
and tennis and
Well, tennis isn't a fat man sport. But you're good at, like, cricket and baseball.
yeah.
Two fat man sports.
Well, I guess baseball is known for being a fat man sport.
Yeah. This is basketball is for, it's for the
fitter.
It's for the fitter
Yeah.
of us. Not myself included. I can play. I have played.
I had dabbled.
Yeah. I have never in my life dunked a basketball.
Haven't you?
I am 178 centimeters tall and just never been athletic.
Well, I can touch the hoop, so that's one thing.
Whoa.
Yeah. How's that make you feel, short boy?
You got hops.
Yeah, man.
You look like you could be on the Monstars team.
Yeah. No makeup required. Not at the moment.
Just looking at you. So, all right. Well, let's talk about this movie.
Yeah, look. It was great. Like, when I went back...
When did you watch it? Like
originally?
Yeah. Well, no. How recently did you watch it for this show?
Last night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Excellent.
so I actually had to split my viewings because I have very limited time. So I watched the first half.
It's an hour and a half long.
Hey, man, that's like a lifetime to me at the moment. But yeah, so just watched it, let's say last night.
Yep.
And I had a really fun time with it.
Yeah, okay.
The animation is of its time. I mean, the animation for the cartoon characters is perfect.
Yeah.
The animation between the cartoon characters and Michael Jordan, very questionable.
Oh, yeah. It's one of those, it's kind of like, where are you looking right now, Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
Who are you looking at? And even the funniest bit of trivia that I read for this movie was that Michael Jordan's facial work for the game Michael Jordan, or like I think it's Michael Jordan in the Windy City. Do you remember that game?
No.
From like way, obviously in the early to mid 90s.
Yeah.
I think it was on Nintendo, maybe something like that.
Oh, damn.
But it's Michael Jordan running around Chicago, and he's got a basketball. Anyway, it doesn't even matter what the game is. But his facial work for that is what helped him get, this movie.
Really?
So, like, obviously they had already done the commercials with him and Bugs Bunny teaming up against, like, Marvin the Martian and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's where the idea kind of formed.
Ah, okay.
But they kind of thought, hey, maybe this kid can act. And then you see, some close-up shots of him kind of, trying to look at what would be Bugs Bunny or something. And I swear to God, he's looking at the snack machine over in the corner.
Yeah. I get that. A lot of when you said the director was a director for like TV ads and stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of Michael
and
Jordan's
music videos.
A lot of Michael Jordan's interactions felt like TV ads.
Yeah.
Almost like I was expecting him to pull out a Mars bar or a Snickers bar.
Well, there's literally a scene in this movie where Wayne Knight's character is trying to get him up out of the hotel room or whatever. And he's like, he lists off a whole bunch of things. He's like, grab your Gatorade, grab your Wheaties, grab your all this sort of stuff. And he is literally listing off every single thing that Michael Jordan had a sponsorship with at that time. It's disgusting product placement where it's just like Michael Jordan has gone, hey, I'll do this movie, but at some point you've got to mention every single deal that I have.
He's a businessman.
Yeah, he is a businessman. And they just went, you know what? We'll do it in one fucking sentence, baby.
There you go. Get it done and out of the way.
Get it done and out of the way. And so they did it. It was insane. But if you go back and you watch this movie, I think, what's his name? Stan? And Stan says something that weird. It's like, that's why.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There you go. What do you think of Newman in this?
He was all right. I mean, like, no one really had anything to do other than Michael Jordan and the Looney Tunes. So it wasn't really like, this wasn't about it. Like, Bill Murray is in this movie, but barely.
Barely.
You know what I mean?
In the most odd way possible. Like, just randomly playing golf with Michael Jordan and saying, I can be a pro basketball player, Michael.
Yeah, so apparently that's all like a throwback to early sort of Nike commercials that he did.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, where he was kind of like, he was trying to play basketball and trying to get in the NBA, but just couldn't or whatever because he was shit.
So he actually tried.
No, these are commercials.
Oh, so it's like a story in the commercial.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's Bill Murray trying to get in the NBA sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it was all just kind of like a throwback to that.
Okay. Very much of its time then.
So I don't think anything was really written here. It's just like, let's use this thing that we've already got with Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
And let's try to get Bill Murray in because Bill Murray's a friend with one of the producers, Ivan Reitman. And let's get his story is just going to be his old commercials that we're going to try, all this sort of stuff.
Right.
And then we'll throw a whole bunch of Looney Tunes characters in there and we'll get a whole bunch of basketball players who I thought were all pretty good, to be honest with you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They did their job.
Not the best actors, but I mean, I thought they were all pretty funny.
Yeah, I thought it was... They did well for what they kind of had because, I mean, they're not professional actors by any standard.
Yeah.
But
Different. Like, it's different today because there is every chance that a sports superstar like a LeBron James or something like that is going to find himself in a role in a movie.
Absolutely.
Whereas back in the day, it was a little bit more sort of unprecedented.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like LeBron James has every ability to be an NBA player and a Hollywood star. Whereas back then, not so much the case. So these guys were just, yeah, they were just doing what
they were there for that paycheck.
Well, not even that. Like, I think they, like they seem like they kind of enjoyed themselves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like some of the lines were funny and, it was pretty good.
One of the scenes that sticks out for me with these professional basketball players is they're kind of like getting wheeled through the hospital.
Yeah.
And like they actually have a little bit of dialogue in between each other. And it's like, nah, man, you haven't lost your game. You're just in a rut. It's like, why are you in the hospital then, man?
Yeah.
And anyway, so they're kind of like going through this hallway and they got the three monster dudes at the back.
Yeah.
And they go through this door and those three guys like just knock themselves out. It's like, that's pretty good
Comedic chops, baby. Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is. Look, it is what it is. But I think it's weird that they would shut down the entire NBA because five guys got like sick and lost their game.
Lost their game.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's very weird.
Hey, look, it was the 90s, man. Like, shit was weird back then, right? Anyway, getting back on track.
What do you think of the villains, Troy?
The Monstars.
The Monstars.
Look, I think they...
I'll tell you something.
What?
I reckon this would scare the shit out of young children.
You think so?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
They're pretty funny.
Later on they are, but at the start, man, they come out and they're like hulking out and you're like, oh my, damn, these guys are like pretty threatening.
Yeah, I suppose. But basically, it's kind of like, I think they made them too big.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a basketball hoop's only 10 feet tall.
These guys are like 20 feet tall.
When you first see them, they look like they're, as big as a house.
Yeah. Sort
of thing. It's kind of like, well, really? You don't even have to dunk. You don't even have to try to dunk.
You could just like reach from the middle of the court.
Yeah, exactly. So I think they made them a bit too big.
Yep.
But I liked it. Look, I mean, I think my favorite though would be the Sean Bradley of the Monstars, so the real tall one, the kind of Frankenstein looking dude. Yeah. It's a bit of like when he was like the little guys, like the little surfer, like stoned, whatever else.
He was off his head.
That guy was high.
He was high.
He was high as shit.
Oh yeah.
Didn't get any less high.
He was on that space weed.
He was. Do we need to talk about what the whole point of this movie is?
Well, I guess we kind of covered in the synopsis, but essentially...
So basically, like, Swackhammer needs... He's got what's it called?
Moron Mountain.
Moron Mountain. And it's like a theme park thing, and people don't want to go anymore because it's shit.
Maybe it's the name, mate. Your branding's all wrong.
Yeah. Maybe call it, like, Happy Town.
Yeah.
Happy...
Funville.
Happyville.
Yeah, something. Moron Mountain, come on.
Come on, no one's going to go there.
That's got like the most negative like connotation to it. It's like, nah, I'm not going there. Only morons go to Moron Mountain.
So anyway, you go there and it's like really dark and dingy and like, it looks like shit, basically.
Well, who wants to go there?
Exactly.
You need a facelift, mate.
Yeah. So he wants a facelift.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, hey, we need some stuff. We need some, hey, those Looney Tunes characters, they're pretty funny. Get me them.
Yeah.
And so apparently, so these space aliens, they have to dig to the center of Earth because that's where the Looney Tunes live, baby, in the center of the Earth. If you dig far enough, you won't get to China, you won't get to molten lava.
You'll get to Looney Tunesville.
You'll get to Looney Tunesville. And then they go there and, essentially they... I don't even know, like, how this happens. So it's like, so they go there... And they chain up Bugs Bunny, who, in true, typical Bugs Bunny fashion, was never really chained up.
No.
You can't catch that dude.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
It's scientifically proven.
Yeah, but he still manages to get the entire township of Looney Tunesville. I don't know what the actual name of it is. We're going to call it that.
Yeah.
Together.
Toonville.
Toonville. And then he decides that he's going to trick these little alien things because they're only small.
They're tiny.
And
they're
it's like,
itty-bitty.
Yeah, we're going to play basketball because... Why not? Like, that's the game that's going to happen, isn't it? Because of all the things that you could challenge them to, it's going to be basketball.
Makes sense.
And who are you going to put on your team? Who?
Tweety Bird.
Tweety Bird. Tweety Bird's grandma. You're going to get the Nana on there.
Correct.
You're going to get Sylvester the cat.
Yeah.
All the Tweety characters, basically. Porky Pig's on there. None of these people look like they know how to play basketball.
And
Yosemite Sam.
Yeah, exactly.
All he does is shoot guns. Have a shooting competition.
Exactly.
You have Elmer Fudd. You have Yosemite Sam. You have Marvin the Martian.
Yeah.
Just have a shooting competition.
Exactly. Well, I guess they also have guns, the aliens, so
Yeah.
they're pretty sorted.
Maybe.
They're probably pretty good marksmen, Troy.
Look, I don't know. I don't know their history. All right. But I'm just saying there's probably something better that they could have done than basketball. Just because Bugs Bunny has hops, as it were. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that everyone else knows how to play the game.
Fair enough. So we do go a little bit further into this movie and we find out that they have this convenient, empty, I guess, basketball court that just needs a little bit of spit shine, Troy.
Yeah, but before that happens, right? Because that's what they've already gotten. They've already gotten Michael Jordan by that point.
Yes, they have.
So before that happens, these little kind of like alien things, they decide, hey, we heard about basketball players. We saw them on TV that one time. So they decide to go and steal the. This is like when Austin Powers lost his mojo.
You know what? It looks like the Mojo juice as well, doesn't it? It's like that purple goo.
Yeah. So they go and they decide to steal a mojo, basketball mojo from the 5 best players in the NBA.
Yeah. And no one else sees it happen.
Yeah.
So it's
all they see is some guy that's dressed up like Tom Baker's Doctor Who, kind of walking in and like sitting down, and then he just disappears into nothing. And then all of a sudden, like NBA players are doing like weird ass dance moves on the court, and then losing their basketball game. That is the Kardashian effect, my friend.
Oh.
It's the 2018 version of the 1996 version, I should say, of the Kardashian effect.
Kardashians were known for something a little bit different back in the day there.
Yeah. So look, and anyway, so they do that, and then basically it's like steroids to them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I took from this.
Yeah.
It's like you need to take steroids to win.
It even gets to a point where like Michael Jordan gives the Looney Tunes placebo steroids.
Yes.
It's like, this is, what did he call it? Can't remember. Go-go juice.
No, Michael's special juice or something.
Oh, you can't say that.
No, that's what it was. That's what it said on the thing, because I was like, that wouldn't fly in this time.
You can't say just drink Michael's special juice.
You're holding out on me, man.
Anyway, so they all drink Michael's special juice, which it's just water, you guys. Hey, the real story, the real takeaway from this whole thing is to just stay hydrated.
Yeah, that's
right. And you'll be good at sports.
Correct.
Yeah. Even though he had a sponsorship with Gatorade.
Oh.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity there.
Yeah. Should have been Gatorade.
It should have been Gatorade.
Anyway, whole point is, they do. We get to the point that you were talking about.
Yeah,
where
so
there's
we
this
get a spit-shined
basketball court. Yep.
Totally disgusting.
Yep.
And we find out that these guys have no game.
They got no game.
They got no game. Bugs seems to be maybe the only one who has a little bit of game. And
tiny bit.
Just a tiny bit. And then who steps into the court, Troy?
Lola Bunny.
Lola Bunny, the most sexualized cartoon character
since Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah.
Weird that she was also a rabbit.
Don't call me dull.
She wasn't a rabbit, but
Yeah.
I'm talking about Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah.
She was just married to a rabbit, which is also weird because she was a human.
Well, she was a human animated person.
That doesn't make it right.
Doesn't make it wrong.
Anyway, so Lola Bunny was weirdly sexualized.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand.
I don't get it.
Especially because this movie was aimed at kids.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
like, who are you trying to do this for? Is it for the dads?
It must have been, because it's like they have her walk in like a very, suggestive manner, swaying the hips.
Her hips don't lie.
Her hips do not lie. I'm surprised she can even walk straight and like not in a bloody zigzag.
It's like swinging from like courtside to courtside.
Yeah, it's like a pendulum.
Yeah.
And the way
she was hot.
Yeah. I'm going to go
watch this movie again.
by myself.
Anyway, but you know, she's a strong, independent woman, and she don't need to be called no doll.
Yeah.
And then she just, Bugs Bunny does it, and then she just dunks all over him.
She's got game. I'll give her
She
that.
does have. She's got the second most game behind Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good. And then anyway, I feel like just at some point we need to stop and take note and realize that the Monstars blew a 66-12 point halftime lead.
Man. Sportsbet would be getting investigated for that.
Yeah, definitely. That'd give you money back.
You'd have to.
Yeah.
If your team's up by 60 and still loses, you get your money back.
Yeah. Oh, man. How do you blow a lead that big?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And to think that, these guys have professional NBA stars talent.
Yeah.
And they get beaten by...
And they're also built like monsters, by the way.
Yeah, they are.
Which, if you haven't figured it out, that's where the name Monstars comes from.
Yeah, because they're stars.
But they're also monsters.
And Monday's their favorite day, so it's Mon.
Or maybe they're just like Jamaican.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anywho, doesn't matter.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, 66. I think it was 60. It was either 66-12 or 66-18.
I actually noticed the scoreboard went up to over 100.
No, it didn't.
No, it did.
No, it didn't.
No, it did.
I promise you it did.
No, it did. It because then it went kind of one-sided, isn't it?
No. That was just it going. It got up to the 50s, and then it went kind of one-sided, isn't it? I promise you.
Okay.
Because the end score was like.
I was too distracted by the hot bunny to notice.
Okay, all right. We all were.
We all were.
It was like I think the end score was like 80-78 or like 78-77 or something like that. It was in the high 70s.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, point is, Bill Murray came back for that final game somehow.
Yeah, he did. So we get the throwback finally.
Yeah.
Super interesting way of him getting there.
Yeah.
I know the producer.
Yeah. And that's exactly how he got into the movie in the first place. So this is what I mean, like nothing was written.
Yeah.
It's just like
I'm here.
I'm here. Why are you here? Because Ivan Reitman asked me to be here. Let's just change that up a little bit, and that's exactly what happened. Larry Bird was in this movie as well.
Yeah, he was. Why didn't he come back?
I don't know. You would have thought like having Larry Bird on your team would have been a better option than Bill Murray, but
Yeah,
maybe Larry
absolutely.
Bird didn't want anything to do with it.
He's like, man, I ain't playing no fucking game with no fake cartoon characters.
Yeah, it's like, I'm Larry Bird, dude.
Maybe Larry Bird was already on the golf course that they were shooting on.
Can I just ask a question? Why didn't Bill Murray and Larry Bird freak out when Michael Jordan went into that hole?
Yeah.
They were just completely normal. He gets sucked into a golf hole. What are they called? Golf holes?
Yeah, the hole. It's just a hold.
So he gets sucked into the golf hole, and they're just like,
Let's take a stroke off our game.
yeah,
Too traumatized.
off we go.
Yeah. Not only do they not care about their friend, they're cheaters.
Exactly.
And I don't dig that.
And that's the real story here.
Yeah.
Is that if your friend gets sucked into a golf hole,
Take a stroke
take
off.
a stroke off. Yeah, so, hey, we got to see Michael Jordan's family.
Yes, we
Those
did.
kids were fucking terrible actors, by the way.
They were the worst actors I've probably ever seen.
No
And,
offense,
I don't want to
but
be...
fuck those kids
Yeah, I
because
don't
they
want to
were
be
shit.
mean. I don't want to be mean, but like you should have got like other people.
You could have got... There are plenty of young child actors in the early to mid-90s that would have been able to do that.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe it's like that was Michael Jordan's like condition. I'll do this movie, but my kids have got to be in it.
No, so they're not his real kids.
They're not his real kids?
They're all named after his real kids.
So why are they so bad?
But they're not his real kids. They're like... They are actors, but maybe they're just... It's like, hey, you kid, you other kid.
Yeah.
Hey, come do this.
They could have got real good actors. Real good children actors.
Like,
for
I
it.
swear to God, one of the kids looked at the camera and did a thumbs up with a smile or something like that. It wasn't quite that bad, but it was, you know what I mean? It's like,
I know what you mean, though. It's like,
you can't
come
see
on,
it. It's
man.
audio, but like,
He's giving me a thumbs up.
I'm doing the thing. Just know. You'll know it when you see it. It's
Yeah.
when Bugs and Daffy are like, they're trying to find Michael Jordan's North Carolina basketball shorts in his house.
Yeah. Did he have Jordans by this time? Like, was that a product that was out in the market?
Hell yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because it was barely mentioned.
Yeah, he was wearing Jordan 11s.
Yeah.
That's how long Jordans had been around for. He was wearing Jordan 11s.
But it was...
Bill Murray, Jordan 2s.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, old school.
Just for all you sneaker aficionados out there.
Ooh.
Yeah. So they had been around for quite some time. You know the whole story about the reason why he wanted his special shorts, like his favorite shorts?
No.
No, because he said it. He's like, oh, don't forget to get my shorts. They're my North Carolina basketball shorts.
I wear them under my
thing at every game. True fact.
Is it really?
Yeah, he actually did do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It is weird. 2 pairs of shorts. 2 pairs of shorts to every game.
I think that's why long shorts got invented for basketball, because I reckon those shorts kept popping out the bottom of the other ones.
Maybe.
And he's like, is he wearing leggings? Which is now normal in the NBA to be wearing leggings.
Completely normal.
Yeah.
So that's a true fact.
Wow.
A true fact about Michael Jordan. That CGI dog. Well, it wasn't CGI dog. It was kind of like superimposed in.
Yeah.
But it was kind of superimposed in when the kids were there as well. And
That
I
was
didn't
weird,
understand
wasn't it?
what was happening.
Yeah.
I think it's because they tried to make its eyes like look angry.
Oh,
But
okay.
maybe the dog
It
wasn't
also
angry.
gave it like vampire teeth,
Yeah.
which was weird. But yeah, when it walked off, it was like floating in the air.
Yeah, it was super weird.
It was so off. I want to say another thing. Why is that dog tied up out the front of that house? Not even tied up. It's like its dog house is out the front. Who does that? That's irresponsible pet care.
Okay. I'm currently at your house.
Yes.
Right? There is a house next door to you.
Okay, this is a fair point. But it's weird.
Almost every time that I leave, there is just a giant husky just chilling in the front yard.
Yeah.
Not doing anything, not tied up. He's just hanging out.
Does that mean Michael Jordan lives next to me?
I think Michael Jordan lives next to you. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know why that's a thing. But hey, that dog was named Charles Barkley.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just so you know. Named after the basketball player Charles Barkley. Also in Space Jam.
Wow.
He played Charles Barkley.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
As played by himself.
Yeah.
How inspirational.
Yeah, it's a good
Went
story.
really method.
Yeah. What else can we talk about? Hey, the soundtrack.
The soundtrack.
Banging.
Not
sure if you did it for this episode by the time it comes out.
Oh, I did it.
I'm sure you'll put the effort in. But absolute banger by the Quad City DJs, the Space Jam thing.
Hell yeah.
Theme.
It's either that or I'm going to put the Netflix and chat theme.
No, just do.
I'm going to do both.
The Quad City DJs. Such a good thing. Hey, that song still gets sampled like to this day because it's so good.
Really?
Yeah. People
Damn.
still sample that song. I Believe I Can Fly was made for this song, for this movie.
It was, wasn't it?
Which is crazy because that song was massive.
It was huge.
Yeah. I think I Believe I Can Fly, the I Believe I Can Fly phenomena is almost as big as the Space Jam phenomena.
I'd say bigger.
You'd say bigger?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I think it had more of a cultural influence.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know, you can still visit the original website, which I did.
What's the website?
It's like I don't know. It's like WarnerBrothersPictures.com/Space Jam, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's the original site that they had to promote the movie back in 1996. They have not touched it. It's exactly the same as it was.
Like a time capsule.
It is a time capsule back to the mid 90s, baby.
Hell yeah.
So you can find it somewhere. I wish I had the link. Maybe I'll try to put it in the show notes or something,
saved.
just so you can see it. I'll
yeah.
give Warner Brothers a bit of free promo for their Space Jam website. It's very basic
Oh, I could imagine.
in the grand scheme of websites, but it is dead set like a trip back in time, not just for movies but for internet as well. So go back and check out
Jeez,
some
it'll be
90s
about
internet.
3 pixels wide on our today's monitors.
Look, there's a full screen.
Oh.
And then it takes up like just the
tiniest little
the
bit.
tiniest little bit in the top.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
I dig that.
Seal also made a song for this that was quite big.
Did he?
Can't remember what it was called.
I hate Seal.
Do you?
With a passion.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm the guy that wants to club
Oh,
seals.
come on. You can't say that.
No, I can't say that.
Why?
I just don't enjoy the guy. He's
What
smug.
about Kiss from a Rose?
That's smug.
I'd be smug too if I was married to Heidi Klum
Yeah.
for 20 years.
Fair.
And I was also, R&B superstar Seal. You know?
No.
Oh, it was Fly Like an Eagle. That's the song. It just came
it
to
was.
me.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Cool. So overall then.
Overall, look, this movie, it's a fun romp, but, I mean, the story is barely there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not... Well, like, what's the story supposed to be, though? It's like, Looney Tunes need to win a game of basketball so they get Michael Jordan.
And they do.
And they do.
And that's it. Like, the stakes aren't really ever there.
Oh, what do you want it to be, like a world-ending event?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like Space Jam Infinity Wars.
But it's kind of like they go from, like, being hopeless at basketball to winning the game, like,
yeah, that's because
minutes.
A, they believed in themselves.
They
believed they could fly.
They did.
And they flew like an eagle.
And Michael Jordan became Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, and he realized, like, also, and made a point of saying, thanks for telling me, like, with fucking 10 seconds left in the game or whatever, that you can just do anything in
Looney Tune Land.
In Tuneville, and it's totally safe.
I think they call it Looney Tune Land.
I don't think they do.
I think they do. Someone let me know.
Someone let Cade know. I saw this movie 2 days ago.
Damn.
I don't remember what it's called. Look, Space Jam is nostalgia.
That's it.
It is 90s to the T. I was the world's biggest Michael Jordan fan back in the day.
You still
I
are.
still am.
You still want to name your firstborn child.
I do.
After him. Boy or girl.
Boy or girl.
It's 2018.
Boy or girl, that baby is going to be called Michael Jeffrey Jordan Spinner.
Yeah.
And no one can stop me. I cannot be stopped. My partner doesn't have a say, let's be honest.
She actually had to sign a contract before engaging in anything with Troy, saying that if anything results from this is what the child's name is. Anything,
like a baby.
Yeah.
If
a dog comes out, Troy.
If any babies result from this union, it's going to be called Michael Jeffrey Jordan Spinner.
Indeed.
Oh, that poor kid. So anyway, my whole point was super big Michael Jordan fan. This just really kind of cemented my love for him back in the day.
Yeah.
This was the perfect way to kind of show the world that might not necessarily, even though Michael Jordan was a worldwide phenomenon, and he was one of those, those sports superstars that transcend just their own sport.
Yeah.
They become this thing bigger than the sport itself. And he is still that, 18, 17 years after finally retiring from the game. Everyone still wants Jordan shoes. Everyone still wants Jordan clothing.
Correct.
Everyone still wants to goddamn dunk it from the
halfway line.
From the halfway line, or, the free throw line.
No, in this movie, in the final scene, he jumped from halfway.
Yeah, I know. But that's just playing on his actual real-time jumping from the free throw line. Or the 3-point line. I can't remember. It was one of them. Anyway, point is...
Big fan.
Big fan. He jumps a lot. He's a
jumper.
He's a jumpy boy. But yeah, 90s nostalgia all the way. It's a hit from me.
Look, I'm with you, Troy. This is an absolute hit. You go in there, it's fun the whole way through. You can forgive like everything. You can give the randomness of Bill Murray just popping in. He's saying, I'm going to be an NBA player. 2 minutes in, I need to ice my knees.
Yeah.
You can forgive the 90s animation because it's a 90s movie.
Yeah.
And Michael Jordan's acting is what it is. Just think of it as a big, long Nike ad.
Hey, he's a very good basketball player for an actor. So, hey, if you haven't seen Space Jam, God damn it, why not? It's still a phenomenon now.
Absolutely.
Like we are dead set talking 22 years later, and they are going to do a reboot, as I was talking about before. People still buy goddamn Space Jam jerseys and socks, Thomas, and like all these sorts of like Space Jam related paraphernalia and stuff. So it is still, to this day, 22 years later, a cultural phenomenon, and it transcends generations. If you haven't seen it, go out and goddamn watch it.
Damn, Troy, what a trip down nostalgia lane.
Space Jam, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Get it in ya.
Jam it.
Jam it in ya.
Yeah. Look, if you enjoyed that episode, there's 3 things you can do to help the show.
Jam it in your space. 1, you can go to iTunes and leave a 5-star rating and review. 2, you can go to patreon.com/ComicConPod and sign up and become a Patreon to help support the show on a monthly basis from as little as $1, or you can share the show around social media with your friends, because that's helpy.
Yeah, that's helpy.
Yep.
Yeah, that's very helpy.
It's very helpy.
Like, go to one friend and say, have you seen Space Jam? No. Watch it, then listen to this.
Then listen to this. These boys, Space Jam.
Jam this in your ears.
It up.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week.
Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of a Halloween special. Very spooky.
Not necessarily the movie's Halloween. Don't get confused.
Actually, there's a new Halloween movie out, isn't there?
I don't know.
Maybe we should do that.
No.
You don't want it?
Nah.
Too spooky for you?
No, it's not that it's too spooky.
You're going to fall too in love with Jamie Lee Curtis again?
Maybe.
She's amazing still.
Maybe
she still kicks ass, eh?
I'm too scared. I'm
Too
too
scared.
scared about falling in love with Jamie Lee Curtis. We'll be doing some sort of spooky Halloween thing. In the meantime, you can join in the conversation at various social media outlets, which are what?
On Facebook, you can find us as Comic Confidential Podcast. We also have a listener community where you can join over 300 other like-minded listeners of the show and come in and just talk everything Comic Confidential, or comics, or movies, or whatever you really want.
Or just confidential things.
Yeah, like stuff that you don't want to tell other people. Like, hey guys, I got this secret. This is where you tell your secrets.
On the internet.
On the internet.
Best place for your secrets, baby.
Absolutely. So, that's Comic Confidential Listener Community. We also have Instagram and Twitter. That's at Comic Con Pod. Hit us up there. See what happens.
Do that.
First person that hits us up there gets a reply.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Well, I would say a sticker. Should we give him a sticker?
Give him a sticker.
Okay. Hit us up on first person who listens to this and hits us up on both platforms.
What were the platforms? I wasn't listening.
Instagram and Twitter.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're never on Instagram.
That's why they'll get a reward.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So you can do that then.
Yeah.
Hit us up on Instagram and Twitter. We'll check it in about 6 months and then we'll send you a sticker. That's pretty much it then.
Yep.
Isn't it? Thanks for listening. As always, I'm Troy.
I'm Cade.
And this has been Comic Confidential, a pop culture podcast.
Cheers.
Peace. Man, Space Jam.
Do you believe you can fly? I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. I spread my wings and fly away. Fly away now. I believe I can soar.
Why would he be flying and then see me running through that open door? You know,
It could be the front door to the house. And he's like soaring by. He's like, hey, Troy.
No, but it's like see me running through that open door. So maybe he flies, lands in your backyard,
running through the door.
and runs in your door.
It's, hey, Troy, guess what I just did?
It's like, Kelly, why the fuck are you in my house?
Because I want to piss on you.
Oh, come on, you can't say that.
Drip, drip, drip. If you love this podcast, then head over to ComicConPod.com to check out the other incredible shows on our network.
Whether you love comedy, pop culture, or movie and TV reviews, CC Radio has got you covered.